one of the most storied rivalries in college football. The Bobcats and the Grizzlies face off in the 124th Brawl of the Wild. Friends, now rivals.
The Grizz are going to shock the world again.
Families divided.
It's just magical. It's the best ever.
This time of the year, the treasure in the Treasure State is the Great Divide Trophy. Two of the top football programs in the country battling it out.
Go Cats.
On the line, bragging rights, tradition, Montana pride.
It's kind of when you get to put your chips on the table and go all in.
If you're going to play in Nashville, winning the Brawl is the first step. Coverage of the 124th Brawl of the Wild starts right now.
Welcome back to Washington Grizzly Stadium. Less than 24 hours away. Number 2 Montana, number 3 Montana State, kicking off one of the biggest Brawl of the Wilds this rivalry has ever seen. At 5 o'clock, we talked tradition, we talked history, we talked emotion behind this ball game. Coming up over the next half hour, we are talking about the strategies, the matchups, the schemes. We're talking ball. Who is actually going to win the 124th playing of the Brawl of the Wild? Welcome outside of Washington Grizzly Stadium, everyone. Ben Weinman alongside Sean Rainey, Dominic Delfidio, our SWX Montana and Nonstop Local team. So excited for the playing of the Brawl of the Wild between Montana and Montana State. You can kind of feel the anticipation slowly building over the last couple days. Gentlemen, how are we doing? Sean Rainey, number 17, it sounds like for you, Brawls of the Wild?
Yeah, 17th Brawl of the Wild in a row. And they always say every year, out of all 17, everyone always says,
This is the biggest.
It's a rivalry game. It doesn't matter the records. It means so much. Well, I tell you what, it means a whole lot more when it's number 2 versus number 3 with everything that's on the line. Cannot wait. It is going to be awesome.
Yeah, you just stole the words right out of my mouth, right? This is what rivalry week is all about. All the implications, everything that's at stake. I mean, you can't ask for much more. 2 versus 3 playoff seating on the line and a year's worth of bragging rights.
Over the next half hour, folks, we're going to break down what is going to actually look like this game. And maybe at your parties, your watch parties tomorrow, you might learn a thing or two from these two fellas. But, Sean, let's break down what is actually at stake. What does this matchup mean for the fans all across the Treasure State?
Yeah, we're doing it for the 124th time. And, yes, this is the biggest when you take account into the rankings because we have number 2 versus number 3, undefeated Montana. But MSU 7-0 in Big Sky as well, and they're going for a title, the highest-ranked meeting in series history. 2 Titans, 2 trophies on the line. The winner tomorrow gets an outright Big Sky title. For the Grizz, it would be their 20th. For the Cats, their 18th. And both teams sitting in the top 3 nationally. So the winner will have home field throughout the playoffs. So much on the line when we kick off at noon tomorrow.
2 Titans, 2 trophies. I love that writing there. That's awesome stuff. Let's welcome in the 4th member of our crew because, of course, the weather, I feel like, always plays a role in this Brawl of the Wild. We've had snowstorms. We've had some negative-degree temperatures. And, hey, wait, Elena Margot, where are you, Elena Margot?
Hey, Ben, sorry, I had to let these guys lead this. This is pretty awesome. I'm here with the Montana cheer team, and we are getting ready for the Brawl of the Wild. Of course, these guys, they're athletes too. They're keeping warm here tonight, and they're going to have to keep warm tomorrow. So let's take a look at that forecast. Of course, improving conditions since Monday. Monday, we were thinking 50-50 shot at some showers. Hey, we're looking at dry weather and temperatures to the low 50s for the football game. Current satellite radar between the Missoula and Gallatin valleys. Hey, folks, things are dry, just a little bit of cloud cover in that northwestern corner of the state. Current wind speeds, well, we do have some gusty winds moving through central Montana, and in north central Montana, some gusty winds as well. Now, when it comes to our temperature change in the last 24 hours, well, no large cold snaps. That's going to come for Thanksgiving. Current temperatures on our way down to chilly lows in the 20s and 30s. But, folks, before I let you get back to football talk over there, I want to introduce you to my new friend, Kendall. Kendall, can you tell us where you're from and what team you grew up cheering for?
I'm from Polson, Montana, and I grew up a Cats fan.
So why the heck are you a Grizz cheerleader?
I'm a Grizz cheerleader because I liked the idea of staying close to home and the community and the team environment I just loved so much.
And it sounds like your parents are MSU people, but maybe they were MSU people. Who do they cheer for now?
The Grizz 100%.
All right. So before we send things back, let's get one more. Go Grizz!
Go Grizz!
Kendall, half the state nodding their head in agreement. You made the right choice there. Made the right choice. That's awesome stuff. We're going to join Elena coming up later on in the show, giving you your full weekend weather forecast. Again, folks, it is the weekend all across the Treasure State, but all eyes, high noon kickoff tomorrow between Montana and Montana State. Before we kind of get into who has the advantage on either position group, Sean, we've talked about it all day, all week long. There's literally never been more at stake for a Brawl of the Wild matchup between these two ball clubs.
Yeah, because you can talk, obviously, just the rivalry, right? You get the Continental Divide Trophy, bragging rights for an entire year, but then you add the Big Sky Conference Championship on top of that, but then kind of even more at the macro level, you're going to get home field throughout the entire playoffs, and that is very important.
Yeah, it sure is, Sean. Why is it important? Well, since 2007, the home teams in the semifinals, a whopping 27-5, 16-0 since the start of 2017, and now not all the top two seeds have made the semifinals, but it shows if you are at home with a chance to make the national championship, there is a very good chance that you will win. And looking at the big picture, that is what is huge for both the Cats and the Grizz tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon, I should say.
Personally, these two really want to just stay at home all December, right, fellas? That's really what you want to do. No road trips at all to Fargo, North Dakota, because that's where the loser's probably going to end up going. Okay. Maybe
we might have a rematch in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Let's not get there. Let's worry about tomorrow first. Okay. Let's break down this ball game. We'll start with the offense, and we'll start with the quarterbacks. Of course, both of these quarterbacks have played amazing this entire year. Both making their first starts in the Brawl of the Wild for both Montana and Montana State. Sean, we'll start with you. Who is the advantage on the quarterback matchup between the Grizz and the Cats?
Yeah, so we're going to break down every position group on offense right now. We'll start with the quarterback spot, and I went with Kaylee Ayat over Justin Lamson in this one. I think that Ayat he's had a little bit better season as far as the overall statistics numbers go, as far as the cumulative stats. He's got some great weapons to throw the ball to, that is for certain, but also Ayat at home, and I think he's got, I don't know, I know neither of these quarterbacks played in the game last year, but I think he might have a little bit better sense of what it's like. He was still around it and enveloped in it throughout the last couple of years.
Yeah, this one was really tough for me. Both quarterbacks having a great season, but kind of like you said, Sean, Ayat's really had a slightly better season, in my opinion, but it's really just going to come down to who protects the football, right? Who's going to make that key mistake in this game, forcing a pass in the pocket? But I'm going to have to go with you on this one, Sean, and give the advantage to Ayat.
Now, the running backs in the backfield, both these teams have basically all-American running backs. Sean, who has the advantage on that side, in that position at least?
Well, this one is a clear and easy answer. This one is the Montana Grizzlies. Dominic Delfidio going with the Cats. I can't hate on my guy Adam Jones in that pick, but you got to go with the Grizz. Eli Gilman, Stevie Rocker, Malai Fanoti. I mean, Eli Gilman by far is perhaps the best player on the field tomorrow, especially when we're talking about maybe some NFL prospects, but he is absolutely electric. Had to go with Eli Gilman and the Montana Grizzlies.
Gilman's had a great season, but it's hard to pick against the guys that have the nickname Evil Twins. Adam Jones, Julius Stevens, they've had
End Zone Eli.
They've had great seasons this year, and and that's the thing with this two-headed monster. It's been so dynamic this year, and the thing with that running back room is bring the juice. And it seems like week in and week out, these two backs are bringing the juice.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Eli Gilman, his numbers are almost better by himself than the two combined. So,
Gotta love the smack talk already. Okay.
Quantity over quality. That's where I'm going with here, fellas.
Let's throw the ball to the outside, fellas. Who's got the advantage in the receiving core?
Well, we can make this one a lot quicker.
Yeah.
This is going to be the Montana Grizzlies. Shout out Taco Dowler, a great player. But overall, Montana's pass-catching options, you got to go with Michael Wortham in that group. He has been just an absolute dynamic player. And you get to cheat a little bit because Wortham can also run the ball and do a little wildcat as well. But, I mean, he has been one of the best players in the Big Sky Conference, and his name will be one of the finalists for the Offensive Player of the Year award, as well as a couple other for Montana. So I'm going to go with Dancing Money Mike Williams.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you on this one, Sean. I think the Grizz do have the advantage in the wide receiver position, but Montana State, they have had some wide receivers step up as of late. Ryan King, Chris Long, Dane Steele making a name for himself, but I do think the Grizz have the advantage on
Look
the
how
outside
fast
here.
he is running there. You got to go with.
Okay, so Sean, if the wide receivers are easy, Dom, we'll start with you. Advantage on the offensive line. I think this is pretty easy as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Montana State on this O-line. They had to shuffle around at the beginning of the year due to some injuries, and it took a couple of weeks for them to really find their footing and find their groove. But that second half of the season, this offensive line is, kind of looked like the offensive line as we've seen in previous years.
Yeah, I went with Montana State as well. I think they're just kind of an offensive line factory right now. But I do have to give a little bit of love to the Grizz offensive line because they've only given up 17 sacks so far this season, which is, on a sack per game basis, one of the best that they've had in decades. Keep in mind, in 2023, when the Grizz went to the national championship game, they gave up 51 sacks in that season compared to just 17 so far this year. So they've done a good job avoiding that. They're going to have to do that tomorrow against Kenny Iden and all that those pass rushers for Montana State.
Yeah, Paul Brott is coming in. We're actually going to hear from Paul Brott in just a couple minutes. Okay, flip to the other side of the ball. Let's talk defense, and we're not going to kind of break down every single level of the defense, but overall, fellas, where are you leaning? Who's the advantage on the defensive side of the ball?
I think Montana State has this advantage here, and watching them up close and personal, this is a ferocious unit. They're eyeing to take the ball away. They're eyeing to get pressure on the quarterback. And the big thing with them over this season, making teams one-dimensional, shutting down the run game, which will be crucial tomorrow. We already touched on Eli Gilman. That'll be a key factor, eliminating him and making a yacht throw the ball.
Yeah, and we were aligned here. We both went defensive line, Montana State. We did give linebackers to the Montana Grizzlies with Peyton Wing and company there. But yeah, when you can say as a defensive unit that you have not given up a point in the third quarter to an FCS opponent, like, wow. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, that is very impressive for Montana State. And Montana's secondary, very banged up. I mean, they have three corners, including their starter, Keon Loud, that's been out for a long time. And so when you have all those injuries, you're giving up almost 270 passing yards a game, which is last in the Big Sky Conference. So I had to go with Montana State for their consistency for sure.
I'm a little curious, Sean. You picked the Cats special teams.
I know. First time ever.
A lot of Grizz fans probably surprised by that.
Yeah, I do think, Montana's punt coverage team, led by Tanner Huff, the Butte native, is tremendous. And so I don't think either team is going to, maybe break a big one as far as punt return goes. But as far as kickoff coverage, Montana struggled a little bit this year, and Ty Morrison has struggled a little bit in the kicking game in the last 3-4 weeks. And so I gave the edge to Montana State in the special teams.
I think overall we kind of are leaning Cats have the advantage on defense, Grizz have the advantage on offense. I think that's probably where this ball game is going to be decided. There is the one big thing in favor of the Montana Grizzlies. Oh yeah, they're playing at home. Let's talk about Washington Grizzly Stadium here because, of course, it is the mecca of FCS football. It's been one of the toughest, if not the toughest, places to win in this level, especially in its history. Since 2015, the Montana Grizzlies 19-4 at home against ranked opponents, and in 2023, of course, they beat number 4 Montana State 37-7. And we've talked about it all week long. The home team, they've won the last 5 brawls. No ranked team wants to come in to Missoula. And when the Grizz have something on the line over the last 10 seasons, they've won nearly 80% of their home games. And since Bobby Houck returned, they have allowed fewer than 17 points per game at home. The crowd isn't just loud, it's disruptive. False starts, killed drives, momentum flips. It turns close games into blowouts. That is what we've seen in the Brawl of the Wild over the last couple years. Opponents know that if the Grizz get rolling in this building, boy, does it become really tough to gain any sort of momentum. And the Grizzlies, of course, know that. The opponents know that as well.
Yeah, and I think you're feeding off. There's so much emotion in this game, right? And that's why I think because of all of that emotion, when that home crowd and that momentum, and it's just that snowball, right? It just gets bigger and bigger, and it's just so hard to counteract that if you're the opponent. But it is something that just mentally you have to get prepared for going into this game. And this is a very interesting take on it as far as Paul Brott from Montana State and the player perspective. Take a listen.
Biggest challenge playing in Missoula is just being able to control your emotions. And, I mean, we're talking about a warrior dial right now is you can't play all the way up at a 9 because that environment, if something goes wrong, your emotions might go haywire and then you can't focus on that play. And so it's being able to know what you're going to be able to play best at there. I mean, you can't amp it all the way up and try to make something happen because they're going to take advantage of that, If you want to go make a play, they're just going to gash you. So it's being sound and disciplined and understanding that there is going to be adversity and you just have to go against that.
Discipline, that is what Paul Brott is emphasizing there for the Cats tomorrow. And if you want to see why home field advantage means so much, look at the numbers here. The top attendance numbers across the entire FCS. Number one, of course, is the Montana Grizzlies. Just over 26,000 fans per contest. That energy, really what makes Washington Grizzly one of the toughest places to play. Jackson State right behind them, followed by Southern University. And then you see the Cats there, number 4, checking in just over 21,000 a game, under 22,000 a game. And then rounding out the top 5, Tarleton State, who might be coming to Montana, Bozeman or Missoula, in a couple of weeks. And so both the Cats and the Grays sitting inside the top 4 nationally in attendance. Nobody draws crowds at this level like the Bobcats and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it truly is very special. This guy gets to experience it for the first time tomorrow.
Really excited for you, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know, you're going to college, South Carolina, you're involved in that environment. But I'll tell you what, the Bobcat Stadium, I mean, it's full every single Saturday, and I expect the same here. It's gonna be an awesome environment tomorrow, fellas. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot more coverage coming up here right on Nonstop Local. Don't change the channel, folks, because coming up later at the end of the show here, we're going to get our predictions from these two guys, the two guys that know these teams the best. Is it the Grizzlies? Is it the Bobcats? You have to wait and see. And then also, hey, join us tomorrow morning starting at 8 o'clock right here outside of Washington Grizzly Stadium. Our entire team there. You see them right there. We're going to have full coverage for 2 hours on Nonstop Local. From 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, we're going to have our entire team getting you ready to go for the big ball game.